It's interesting on an afternoon where we start to see perhaps the beneficiaries of the run-up in certain meme stocks. Certainly, we look to Ryan Cohen of RC Ventures potentially cashing in on some of his Bed Bath & Beyond holding. What's happening over at AMC? How is the CEO perpetuating the AMC apes?
Well, he's done a really good job just keeping all of his super fans invested. And, it's interesting what you say about Bed Bath & Beyond. Obviously, there are always new memes. And like our previous guest said, they typically go out of style relatively quickly. AMC is really the only one who has maintained its place in the spotlight for months and months and years, really. And it's Adam Aron, who is an absolute carnival barker of an executive, in our opinion, who has really kept it there. One thing he's done is just been so completely accessible to his retail investors that, he's got them hooked. It's a cult of personality, and they have utter faith in him and a lot of just adoration and complete trust that he's going to bring the company to the moon.
To the moon. It's so funny. A lot of, say, stodgier CFOs would not want this many retail investors and will say, we like a lot of long-term holders who will stick with us for a long time. But you look at what he's done and really engaged a retail base through real technology, through asking retail investors to ask questions on earnings. Tesla, Palantir, all these other companies, 23andMe, they're all doing this too now through a company called Say Technologies affiliated with Robinhood. Is there something to be learned from this guy?
Absolutely. And it's really, what's interesting is he's made his whole career out of loyalty marketing. And so he brought this, he was famous at Hyatt, at Carnival Cruises. He created and at Vail Resorts, he created their first loyalty marketing schemes and, created a lot of improved business on that front. And he has brought the exact same thing to AMC, but in not only with, attendance to the actual theaters, but with investors. He's treating them like customers, and he created a loyalty program for investors, which is unheard of. And it means that he got all of their email addresses through that process of creating this program. And now he can speak directly to his investors anytime he wants and with no intermediary. So he gets to pump them up and sell them on the stock any time of day he wants, all day long.
And overall, his fiduciary duty to these investors is to keep the actual business chugging along and getting the wins and getting the right sort of movies in. How is he performing on the fundamentals in that respect, Eliza?
Well, things are looking up. It's been a good quarter for actual blockbusters, and so that was a help, especially after how quiet it was during the pandemic. But one of the fundamental problems for AMC is its astronomical level of debt, and that's the reason it was in trouble in the beginning of the pandemic, and nothing about that really has changed. And AMC embarked on a huge acquisition spree right before, unfortunately, everything shut down, and it's still dealing with the fallout of that. It, may or may not have been a good idea at the time, but it certainly wasn't nice to have all that debt to have to service. It refinanced some debt earlier this year, but it still is dealing with $5 billion. And so, for instance, when AMC does arguably stunts, maybe investments like buying a stake in a gold mine earlier this year, the retail crowd goes crazy, but some of the lenders and other fundamental analysts say maybe that money should have gone towards paying down debt.